Hello everyone. This video recording um, serves as our discussion, a partial discussion for chapter 2, which is basic tools in nutrition. Okay. The reason why this is just a partial discussion is that half of the time that we're going to spend for this chapter will be delivered face to face, so that will be on Thursday. Okay. Since you're going to have your face to face exam on Thursday, and since we have 3 hours of contact time every day for this mid-year, so 1 hour man ang ato ang chapter exam, so that's 7 to 8. So we're going to use the rest of the time, 8 to 10 a.m., for the discussion for the remaining parts, no, for this chapter. Okay? So yeah, at least man lang naamoy tan-awon, no, nga video discussion para at least maparsyalan nato and ma-utilize nato atong time. Okay, we're done with chapter 1, which is introduction to nutrition. No? So we're going to delve, no, into the deeper topics of nutrition, and one of that is the use of basic tools. Okay, so what are these tools? Okay, so what is the general purpose of the basic tools in nutrition? Why do we need to use tools like in other fields? No, they have their own tools as well, but what purpose that do this basic tools serve? So actually, the main purpose, no, is to guide individuals for a healthy diet and lifestyle. That's actually the ultimate goal or the ultimate purpose for using these tools. Okay, so uh, many of these tools are used for several nutrition intervention strategies like nutrition education, nutrition counseling, and of course, planning of meals. So that's going to be the meal planning part, okay, of your intervention. So, unsa ato ang ihatag nga mga meals sa atong patients. Of course, we are going to consider the macronutrient content of the food. We want to make sure that the food that we are going to include in the meal plan, no, correspond with the requirements. So in order to do that, we have to estimate, no, their needs, their daily needs for nutrients. Okay, and we're going to use several basic tools for that. Okay, so generally, our goal here is for our clients and patients to have a healthy diet and lifestyle. So, these tools can be categorized into two, okay, according to their nature, no? They can be either qualitative or quantitative. Okay, so when you say qualitative tools, they do not heavily include numbers. So most of them are presented graphically, okay, in picture forms or in description forms, okay. So wala dili kayo ta mag-deal og numbers ani, okay. While of course the opposite of that is quantitative. So kani numerical gyud ni, numbers gyud ni siya, no. So with the use of quantitative tools, we may have to perform several calculations, okay, which is of course very important, no, in making sure that the meal plan that we are going to prescribe for that patient corresponds to their needs. Okay, so let's proceed first with the different qualitative tools. Okay, we have food guides and dietary guidelines. Okay, so it's very important, guys, know that you know the examples of each of these qualitative tools. So as we go along the slides, no, you are going to be introduced, no, to the different food guides, okay, as well as to the different dietary guidelines. We also have quantitative tools. Okay, so quantitative tools include dietary standards, food composition tables, food exchange lists, nutrient density, nutrition labeling, and the latter includes the correct interpretation, no, or correct reading of food labels, which is very important, no, because as registered nutritionist dietitians, it's one of our jobs, no, to educate the patient on how to read labels properly and correctly. Okay, and that's actually a rare skill, no, because not everyone is capable of uh, being able to do that, no. So that's why kinahanglan yun na it's a competency skill of an ND student to be able to read um, food labels properly. Okay, it might sound easy, no, but later you might realize that you might be reading food labels wrong in the past. Yeah, so ato na siya tan-awon unya, no. Okay, so each of these tools, no, kay atong i-discuss. Sige, let's start with food guides. So, different nations, different versions of food guides. So here in the Philippines, our classic food guide is the food pyramid. Okay, of course, you know na the food pyramid, no, that's one of, I think, the classic posters that are being posted in the four walls of classrooms. Sukad pa 'tong elementary ta, high school, usually mao na 'tong gakakit-an, no? But it's not actually the current, no, the current food guide of the Philippines. This is the outdated version kaning food pyramid. So naatay new version which is called the Pinggang Pinoy. Okay, so mao na ni ato ang recent food guide. It replaced the classic food pyramid. Okay, so these guides basically show the three classic food groups, namely the go foods, the grow foods, and the glow foods. So remember that the go foods are those that are rich sources of energy and whose main functions, no, and whose main function is to give energy, and those are the food that are rich in carbohydrates as well as fats. Okay, um, we also have the bodybuilding food, so we have the protein rich food. Okay, mauning mga grow food nato. And the regulating foods, which are the food that are rich in vitamins and minerals, because as what we have learned from chapter 1, vitamins and minerals, their main function is to regulate bodily processes. Okay, so these food include um, fruits and vegetables because they are rich in vitamins and minerals. So these are the glow foods. Okay? So naabaya ni siya sa atong food pyramid, no. But these food groups are also highlighted in the Pinggang Pinoy. Okay, although lahi na ang picture, lahi na ang pictorial representation. So let's take a look, no, at this food guides. So remember guys, no, that I have posted this prior to this discussion, no, kani nga mga tools, naka Google Drive folder na daan siya. So I hope you were able to scan through these folders. So you just have to click these links, and those would redirect you, no, to these folders. So um of course, this is the food pyramid, no? Okay. My internet connection now is not that strong, no? So I hope klaro ra ako ang audio so far. I should have opened this before, no, para diretso ta. Sige, ako daan i-open. Okay. Na. Sige. So, actually you can download this, no, para uh, available siya offline. Okay. I think dili siya pixelated kung ma-download ninyo. But anyways, I assume nga maklaro ra siya. So, let's take a quick view, no, of the classic food pyramid. Okay. Um, what does this pyramid symbolize? Um, this also represents, no, how foods are were grouped according to how much we need of them daily. Okay, like if food items are placed on the top of the pyramid, that means we only need a little of them compared to those who were placed in the bottom part. Okay, as the pyramid progresses, no, the amount of our needs for them decreases. Okay, so that means ang pinakadaghan nato nga requirement is kaning water and beverages, followed by this food group, and then vegetables, fruits, milk, the protein-rich foods, and then ang pinakagamay na itong kinahanglan is the fats and oils. Okay? Although qualitative siya, kay masabtan man nato, no, ang interpretation nga nung ang shape niya is pyramid just by looking at the shape, pero naa siya actually quantities. Okay? Although na siya ay quantities, it is still considered a qualitative tool. Okay? So these numbers would just uh, allow you, no, to know the specific portion sizes that you need daily, no, for these groups. Okay? So we have, okay, per day ni siya nga basis, ha, just like your pinggang Pinoy, per day ni siya. So therefore, per day you need like 6 to 8 glasses of water or beverages, and then 5.5 to 6 servings of these food items, and fruits, vegetables, and so on. Okay, so kana siya. And then gi-emphasize po diri, no, ang other lifestyle components like doing physical activity and observing personal environmental hygiene. Okay, so this is of course developed by the FNRI, Food and Nutrition Research Institute of the Department of Science and Technology, which is the leading nutrition authority in the Philippines. Okay, so yeah, kani siya ang daan nato nga food guide. But let's proceed to the one that is the more recent, which is the okay, wala tay pinggang Pinoy diri, no. Okay, since I have a hard copy of the pinggang Pinoy, we'll just discuss more of the pinggang Pinoy on Thursday, no. Okay, kaya na ako'y print out dito sa office. So ako na lang to dalon, and if face to face na lang nato discuss ang pinggang Pinoy. Yeah, but know that it is actually now the pinggang Pinoy that is our official food guide in the Philippines. Okay, but what about this one? Different nations, different versions. So let's take a look of the different versions of food guides in other countries. So actually, in China we have the food pagoda. Okay, you know what a pagoda looks like. Of course, that's the common design of house, no, in China, and it sort of looks like a pyramid food. Okay. So, very witty kay mura siyang pyramid gihapon. So, the same ra ang interpretation sa ato ang ah, food guide, sa atong daan nga food guide, which is the food pyramid, but ng ilaha more culturally specific. So, food pagoda ang tawag sa ilaha. And for the USA, uh, we have the My Plate. So actually kaning pinggang Pinoy na to no, nagkuha tag idea ani originally from the American My Plate. Okay? And in Canada they have the Food Rainbow. Okay? And my most favorite food guide uh is actually the Japanese food guide, which is the spinning top. Okay, so let's try to look at the internet no for what's this, for some pictures of those food guides. So let's try to search first for the food pagoda. Food pagoda. Okay. Yeah, kani mo nitong akong ingon no nga um another witty food guide, because mura siyang food pyramid gyapon but mas culturally specific. Okay, because when you say pagoda, it is Chinese, di ba? Okay, pero it sort of looks like the food pyramid ang shape. Okay, so the same ra ato ang interpretation. So let's look at pictures nga na ay higher quality, no? Okay. Ay medyo gamay gid ang mga sizes. Kay kani. Okay. So same ra ang interpretation sa ato ang old nga food guide no, which is the food pyramid. So same ra gihapon nga ang sa top, so meaning ang pinakagamay nato nga needs is oil, fat and oil. Then naapod quantity no, just to specifically show the food portions or the portion sizes, specific portion sizes for each food group. The same pud sa ato nga the base of the pyramid is occupied by grow foods. Okay? So, both the bottom and top parts of the food guide are occupied by the go foods. And the second level from the base is occupied by the glow foods. Okay, the regulating foods. Okay, the foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals. The next are the grow foods. Okay, then napod sila dairy products. This is for the emphasis no on calcium rich food. Okay, so nindot po siya actually very witty. Okay, yeah, kani. So this is called the food pagoda. Okay, so let's proceed to the food guide of the USA, which is the My Plate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, mao ni ang prototype sa ato ang pinggang Pinoy. So, medyo nag-awat ano. We can say that nga medyo ni-awat ta sa US. Okay? And same ra actually ang proportions. Although I'll discuss more about our pinggang Pinoy on Thursday sa face-to-face, but this would give you an idea no on how to use and interpret the pinggang Pinoy. Okay? Same ra gyud sila. Like ang proportion nga like nga ang picture is that of a plate, so that would symbolize no the how a certain meal should look like. Okay, uh, dapat daghan og vegetables. Okay, Actually, kung ato ni siya i-convert to fractions, vegetables would occupy one-third of the plate. Okay? Then fruits would occupy one-sixth of the plate. Grains would occupy one-third of the plate. And the remaining portion, which is the protein, occupies around one-sixth of the plate. Okay? So, inana. So, same ra gyapon siya sa pinggang Pinoy nga inani. Pero, wala lang tay emphasis on dairy. Okay. In our pinggang Pinoy, ang ato ang fluid is just water. Okay, but there in the US, since they are dairy lovers, no, they emphasize the inclusion of uh, a portion of a dairy product, no, in each meal. Okay, so this is the food guide that is the official food guide of the federal government of the United States of America. Okay, um, sige. Uh, Proceed ta sa Canada. Food Rainbow. Food Rainbow. Food Rainbow Canada. Yeah, inani, ilaha. Okay? More colorful, no? Ang kuan, ang Canada. Okay. So, same ra gihapon ang interpretation kay kabaluman ta nga kani nga portion, kaning red lugar nga light, red nga wavelength, mao ni siya pinakagamay lugar compared to the other rays of the rainbow. So this portion occupies no, the foods that you should eat the least, kumbaga, when it comes to the amount. Okay? Ang pinakadako is the fruits and vegetables. Okay? Actually, no, the most accurate, kumbaga, um, if you want to compare no the food guide with the standard healthy diet, di ba, we discussed that in chapter 1, gi quantify nato according to the recent research kung pila ang portion sa kada food group, para maingon nato nga ang isa ka diet or isa ka dietary pattern is considered the healthy diet. um 400 grams of vegetables, then 400 grams of fruits, di ba? And if you compare that with the food guide of Canada, ingon gyud nato nga ang Canada ang nag-follow gyud no sa ginaingon nga healthy diet as per research. Okay? Kay mas daghan gud ang fruits and vegetables compared to the Go Foods. Okay? And they also have the dairy products. Okay? So ang pinaka-lethal sa ila is, the protein-rich food. Okay? So that's the food guide of Canada. Lastly, I want to show no the genius that is the Japanese food guide. Japanese food guide. Okay. Daot-daot na akong signal, guys. Okay. I hope klaro pa ang recording, no? Okay. Sige, balikan ra nato ni. Um, Proceed ka sa next. Okay. So, those are the food guides. So, again, ako ra explain ang pinggang Pinoy na sa face-to-face na sa Thursday. Next is the nutritional guidelines. So, nutritional guidelines are another group of what's this? Um, qualitative tool in nutrition. So, nutritional guidelines are a series of statements that promote healthy eating and lifestyle. So, in the Philippines, our nutritional guidelines, the newest version is the 10 commandments. Okay, so let's open here the 10 commandments. So, kani medyo madugay siguro tani kay dakura ba ni nga file. Okay. Nahuwag yapon siya nag-load. Japanese food guide. Okay. Pwede ra sad nino nga i-face to face na lang nako pud ning 10 commandments kinaabot ko i-print out ani. Okay? But basically guys, our 10 commandments, so from the term itself, consists of 10 statements in order to um, inform the Filipino people on how to attain a healthy diet as well as a healthy lifestyle. Okay, aside from diet manggod na apod statements dito that emphasize exercise as well as avoidance of unhealthy vices like alcohol drinking and smoking. Okay, that's actually in the statement number 10, or the 10th or the last statement is concerned with um, attaining a healthy lifestyle, holistic healthy lifestyle. Okay, nawala gyud akong internet. I hope okay ra ang Okay, I hope okay ra ang wala ra nawala ang kuan video recording. But anyway, sige. So ni-load na to ang 10 commandments. So again 10 statements siya So um ang kanindot aning nga guideline is that it is written in different languages. So naatay 10 commandments nga naka-Tagalog or naka-Filipino, naapud ta naka-Bisaya. Okay? The NNC made sure of that. Okay? Because these 10 commandments are also posted in public space, in public places like wet markets, especially diha sa Valencia, natay makit-an diha nga 10 commandments the NNC, the National Nutrition Council, is in charge of that, of making sure that these 10 commandments are posted in conspicuous places. Okay? Para makitaan sa mga tao. Okay? And this is, I think, one of the wittiest, what's this? Nutrition related paraphernalia that the NNC has ever made. Kay kuan siya it's a wordplay for the 10 commandments, and instead of stone tablets, since nutrition related man siya, so bread naa siya sa bread, nakakuan slice of bread siya naka-embed ang mga statements. So yeah, it's very smart, and it's very captivating, no? Okay. Sige, balik ta diri sa sa food guide sa Japan kay ni-load na siya. So, yeah, ganahan pud kaayo ko ani, and as what I've said, this is the my most favorite food guide, no. Okay. So, mura siyang trumpo, di ba? Kumbaga sa kuan sa ato ang language trumpo. Okay? So bali siya nga food pyramid. So therefore, balihon lang nimo ang food pyramid. That's the Japanese food guide. Pero ang ka-unique niya is spinning siya. That means we have to assume that this illustration is mobile. is spinning, and the only way to spin the top, no, is as if you do the physical activity. So to keep uh, the food guide running, you have to pair it up with exercise and water. Diba? So very, very witty, very, very smart. And if you do not pair up diet with physical activity, then the spinning top would stop, and it would fall. Okay, so it so the diet would be useless if you do not pair that up with physical activity. Diba? So you should keep the you should keep the top spinning, no? And the only way to do that is to pair it up with physical activity. And of course, adequate amount of water or hydration. Okay? So, same ra gyapon siya sa atong food pyramid, pero bali siya kay trumpo man siya and spinning siya. So, the idea here is to keep um the top spinning, and again, to do that, kinahanglan nga mag-engage ka sa physical activity. So, this is a great food guide, no, because dili lang diet ang gi-emphasize but also physical activity. Okay? So, that's the food guide of Japan. Okay. So, balik ta dito sa nutritional guidelines. So, again, 10 statements siya. So, ang number one nga statement, um, kumain ng iba't ibang pagkain. This emphasizes variety. Okay, morning variety na to. Actually, naatay tulo ka principles, no, sa healthy diet. Okay, wala lang nato to na-discuss um, sa chapter 1, but ako na lang ikuan, no. Unsa tong three principles sa healthy diet? We have the MOVABA principle. Mo stands for moderation, Va stands for variety, and Ba is balance. Okay? So, kaning number one kumain emphasizes the variety. Okay? Why? Because what's the importance of variety? Because there's no single food that contains all the nutrients. So you have to get all the nutrients that you need from a variety of foods. So mao nang dili pwede nga ang imuhang diet kay maura na siya permi every day, walay variety. So, taas kayo ang tendency ana, no, nga mag-suffer ta from micronutrient deficiencies, because the idea here is to have varied diet as possible, no, in order to make sure that we get all the nutrients that we need. Okay? It's the number one commandment, so that speaks volumes, no, on its importance, on its relevance, on the importance of variety in our diet. Number two is emphasizing, no, the importance of exclusive breastfeeding within the first 6 months of life and complementary feeding thereafter. Okay, so exclusive breastfeeding is recommended, no, in infants aged 0 to 6 months. Well, what does exclusive breastfeeding mean? Um, Dapat breast milk lang, no, ang source of nourishment ni baby for uh, their first 6 months of life. Even water, dapat dili pa imnon ang bata og water. So, tanan nga nutrients, water, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and the micronutrients, solely gikan sa breast milk. So, definitely dili pwede ang infant formulas. So, definitely dili pwede cow's milk. Okay? So, gatas lang ni mama ang dapat, no, nga source of nourishment sa bata nga 0 to 6 months. But pag abot niya 6 months, pwede na siya i-subject to complementary feeding. So what does complementary feeding mean? It means that aside from breast milk, naanay solid foods. Okay? Gradual introduction of solid foods. Okay? Because it is assumed that when the child or when the infant reaches 6 months, dili na enough ang nutrients nga naa sa breast milk. So, therefore, kinahanglan na ta mag-supplement og solid foods para kung unsay kulang dito sa breast milk, masuplayan ni solid foods. Okay? So, that's complementary feeding. Okay? And that's the number 2 commandment. Number 3 commandment is or talks about the inclusion of fruits and vegetable in our daily diet. Yeah. Okay? Number 3 siya, no? So, very important yun kaayo siya. Because fruits and vegetables comprise the largest of what a healthy diet should be. Diba? As what we learned from chapter 1. And, fruits and vegetables contain the micronutrients. Okay? So, very important siya. Number 4 is kumain ng isda, karne, at ibang pagkain may protina. So, um, this talks about no protein, the protein in the diet. So, to get protein, no, magkaon ta og i-emphasize ko ng isda because fish is actually the healthiest animal source of protein. It's much more preferred than eggs and lean meats and even white meat. 'Di ba? Nakita nato dito sa healthy diet nga ang fish mao nang dako-dako no nga part sa healthy diet, then ang red meat is zero, 'di ba? And in our pinggang Pinoy, isda pod ang nagrepresent sa protein sa grow food. So, yeah. So, ang number 5 actually guys is um, all about calcium. Okay? So, uminom ng gatas, kumain ng pagkain mayaman sa calcium. So, alternatives to milk include but not limited to malunggay, dilis or bulinaw, okay, mga small fish, kay ilang bukog edible man, and you know that bones are rich in calcium. Yeah. Number 6 talks about food safety. Okay. Number 7 is ensuring uh, iodine status through consumption of iodized salt. Number 8 talks about moderation. Okay, hinahinay sa maalat, mamantika at matatamis. Number 9 is weight maintenance, healthy weight maintenance. And number 10, morning lifestyle na, maging aktibo. So, engage in physical activities. Avoid drinking alcohol and never smoke. Okay, iwasan ang alak, huwag manigarilyo. Okay, so that's the 10 commandments of the Philippines as our official nutritional guidelines. Okay. So, very important nga memorize na tong 10 commandments. Okay? Yeah, dapat memorize na tong 10. Although dili word by word, but kabaluta kung unsa nga 10 commandment ang nag-emphasize ani. So, for example, unsa nga 10 commandment ang nag-emphasize sa moderation, di ba? So, that's 10 commandment number 8, di ba? Unsa nga commandment ang food safety, that's 10 commandment number 6, di ba? Okay, so you should know that. Next, okay, so mauna to ato ang mga qualitative tools. What about quantitative tools? So magsugod ta sa dietary standards. So the dietary standards are compilations of nutrient requirements or allowances. So these answer your specific questions on how to know the specific recommended amounts of nutrients you need daily. Okay? So, kung gusto ta makabalo no kung pila atong kinahanglan sa kada adlaw-adlaw per nutrient, kung pila atong kinahanglan nga for example vitamin A, pila atong kinahanglan nga vitamin A daily or per day, then we have to refer to our dietary standard. So what's our official dietary standard? In the past we used the RENI, okay? But in 2015, nagsugod na ta og gamit og PDRI or the Philippine Dietary Reference Index. Okay, ang newest version is 2018 but gilaunch siya in 2015. Okay? Sige, of course, natay soft copy ana. So naagyapon didto sa quantitative tools. So diri um mas maayo pud nga naamoy hard copy ani no kay magamit man ninyo permi. Okay? Kumbaga mao ni ang atong Bible no. Kumbaga sa ND program. Okay? So pwede gyud ninyo ni i-print out. But dili pa man siya required kay as long as okay ra mo sa soft copy then you can actually use just the soft copy. Okay? The PDRI um, specifies the amounts of nutrients that you need daily, the amount of nutrients that you need in a daily basis. Okay? So per age no, and then per sex pod. Okay? Sige. Ah Again, mao ni atong gamiton kung gusto nato mahibaw-an kung pila atong kinahanglan nga nutrients daily. Sige. Say for example, you are curious no as to how much vitamin C you need daily. So, let's assume you're now 20 years old and for example, babae ka. So, tan-awon lang nimo diri, 'di ba? So, 19 to 29, diya ka na belong kay 20 years old man ka. Then, tan-awon nimo ang vitamin C, nara. Okay? Diri sa vitamins kay naa sad separate sa minerals no. So, ang vitamin C kay vitamin man siya. So, diri ta. So, diri 19 to 29, then sa babae 60. Ang unit is naa siya diri no sa column, sa top sa column. So, therefore you need around 60 milligrams of vitamin C daily. Okay? Kung lalaki ka, then slightly higher imong need, 70 milligrams per day. Okay? Ngano man na because generally males have um, higher muscle mass compared to females and mas dako pud iyang energy requirements, so therefore mas dako pud siya needs for micronutrients, for most of micronutrients. But unsa nga micronutrient nga mas dako ang need sa babae compared sa lalaki? One example is iron. Okay? Why do females need more iron than males? Because of course, females in the reproductive age do menstruate. So, naay constant nga blood loss no sa ilang menstrual cycle, and you know that along the blood, iron is also lost during menstruation because iron is found in the heme molecule of the hemoglobin, which is found inside each of the RBCs or red blood cells. So, yeah, mas dako ang kinahanglan sa babais for iron than males. Okay? 28 ilang needs, 28 milligrams of iron. Sa lalaki, 12 milligrams lang. Pero, pag-abot sa menopausal stage, since wala naman garegla ang babae ana kay menopause na sad, so ni gamay nahimo na lang 10. Okay? So, yeah. Um, so, mao ni atong gamiton, no? If we want to serve that purpose. Okay? Um, of course, naani siya sections that you should be able to know, no? We have the recommended energy intakes. Um, kani siya, para lang ni siya sa calories. Okay? So, for example, you are male, 19 years old, so imong need per day is 2,530 calories per day. So, mo ning kinahanglan nimong energy requirement. Okay? Um, there are other methods to estimate how much calories you need per day, but one of the easiest ways is to just refer to the PDRI. Okay, na-specify naman daan kung pila imuhang needs per day, depende sa imo kung aha ka nga age group na belong and kung babae ka or lalaki ka. Generally, tan-awon nimo ang pattern, mas dako gyud ang energy requirements sa lalaki because again, mas taas ang lean body mass proportion or ang proportion for muscles no sa lalaki compared sa babae. Okay? Kay mas metabolically active man gud ang muscles compared to fats nga mas daghan sa babae. Okay? Um what is this section? Acceptable macronutrient distribution ratio, AMDR. So this is helpful no in the meal planning part. So you will be able to realize that later on kung mag meal planning na mo kay diri man mo mag-refer. Okay? Um Sige at mag-put tag example no para mas masabtan nato. So diri ta sa adults na. Okay, adults naman ta no. So pasabot ani is 10 to 15% of the energy of your energy needs must come from proteins. 15 to 30% of your energy requirements must come from fats and carbohydrates 55 to 75%. Remember that these macronutrients give us calories, di ba? So kanang ato ang total calorie needs tungaon man na nato sa tulo nga macronutrients. Okay? So unsaon nato pagtunga? Mo ni itong gamiton nga percentages. So any within the range can actually be used, no? Okay? So say for example, pwede ta mag-set nga for protein 15%, sa fat 25%, and carbohydrates 60%. That's 60% with a total of 100. Sige. So ato na i-compute ha. Sige. So say for example, at kani atong gamiton 2,530 for a male adult aged 19 years old. So ang ilahang energy requirement is 2,530. So dali ra na actually 2,530 i-times na to sa pila nga proteins, 15% man to ang ato ang gi-select. So 2,530 times 0.15. So that's 379.5 calories. So 15% sa energy requirements is 379.5 which must come from proteins. So unsaon lugar nato na pag-determine sa kung pila nga proteins ang mag-correspond to that amount? We simply have to divide it by 4 since ang calories per gram man sa proteins is 4, 'di ba? 4 calories as what you read no from the chapter 1 katong ebook nga akong ginapabasa, ang calories per gram for proteins is the same with that of carbohydrates which is 4 calories per gram. So, i-repeat na ko ang process that total energy requirement times 15%. So, that's times 0.15 divided by 4. So, that would give you 94.875. Usually sa computation nato guys no, i-round off nato no to uh, two decimal places. So ang result man is 94.875, so mahimo na ning 94.88. So ang kinahanglan niya nga protein per day is 94.88. Okay, kay 15% man. Sige, next sa fat, ang atong gipili is 25%. So, same ra gyapon ang calories, 2,530 times 25%. So, that's times 0.25. So, that's 632.5 calories. I-divide dayon nato na siya sa pilaman. Pilaman ang energy density sa fats, 9, di ba? Nigawas na siya sa pretest nato. 9 calories per gram ang ma-render sa fat. So, i-divide na to siya sa 9. So, 632.5 divided by 9 is 70.27777. So, i-round off na to sa 2 decimal places. So, that's 70.28. So, therefore, we need around 70.28 grams of fat. Okay? What about carbohydrates? So, 60 atong gipili. So, 2,530 times 0.6, so that's 1,518 calories. I-divide na to sa 4, since 4 calories per gram man ang carbohydrates. So, that's 379.5 grams of carbohydrates per day. So, that's the use of your AMDR, or acceptable macronutrient distribution range. Okay. Uh, Diri nga section is the RNI. Mao ni ang minimum nga amount of nutrients that we need daily. So, kumbaga sa kada age group, mao ni ang minimum nga protein nga inyohang need per day. Okay? So, naa diri ang fiber, so macronutrients ni ha. So, water, fiber, proteins, okay? Essential fatty acids na apod diri. Okay. Uh, Pasabot ang essential fatty acids no, is percent energy. So if ang inyong energy requirements is 2,530, so 2,530 times 0.005 kay 0.5% man divided by 9. So that's your daily needs for alpha-linolenic acid. For linoleic acid, that's 2,530 times 0.02 divided by 9. So, nganong 9 man kay fat man ni. Okay. For dietary fiber, it's around 20 to 25 grams per day. Okay. For vitamins, mao ni minimum ni siya nga requirements guys. Therefore, pwede ta mo lapas gamay but dili ta pwede mumubo ani nga mga values. Okay. For minerals na asad ni. Next is EAR or Estimated Average Requirements. So, kani ginagamit ni siya sa population nga level, and these values just suffice 50% of the nutrient requirements of the population. Okay? And the last section is concerned with the upper intake levels or upper limits. So, these values specify the maximum uh, amount of nutrients allowed per day. So therefore, dili dapat ta mulapas ani, because that means if mulapas ta ani nga mga values, toxic na ng amount. So sobra-sobra na ng amount, excessive na ng amount. Okay? So say for example, unsa kaha nga amount sa vitamin C ang maximum na allowed per day? Sige, diri sa adults no, kay most of you kay adults naman. So ato lang tan-awon diri dayon. Pangitaon na tong vitamin C. So here, so that's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day. So mao na tong maximum per day. Okay. Unya, many of you I assume use vitamin C supplements man. And ang isa ka tablet sa vitamin C typically contains around 500 milligrams of vitamin C. and many people actually use overdose no nga vitamin C, like moabot sila 3 tablets per day, which is sobra-sobra na. So kung 3 tabs, so that's 3 times 500, so 1.5 na, 1.5 milligrams per day na, which is way beyond the UL or the upper limit. Okay, so that also speaks volumes noon how the use of supplements would frequently lead to toxicity. Okay. So for other nutrients, just check this, check the rest. No? And napo tayo additional recommendations for free sugar, sodium, and potassium. Okay, so that's your PDRI. So mao na atong official nga dietary standard no. In other countries na po na sila lahi. The RDA, which is the classic American dietary standard. Okay? So gi-pattern po nato na siya sa US actually ang atong PDRI. Okay? Yeah, so uh, mao ni ang components sa PDRI nato as what I have discussed no. The AR 50% lang sa population iyang ma-meet. The recommended dietary allowance, this is the RDI. The RDI, the recommended dietary intake. Okay? So kani or the RNI. Okay? The RDA and the RNI are the same. So these nutrient intakes are expected to meet the nutritional requirements of 97% of the population. Okay? Adequate intake, which is wala na butang diri no. Okay? But na ay adequate intake ang PDRI. Kani dili nganong wa man siya gibutang diri kay available man pud ang RNI ug EAR. Kay kaning AI gamiton ra man ni siya as reference if walay uh, RDA or RNI or EAR ang isa ka nutrient. But since all of those nutrients have their RNI and EAR, so therefore AI for the nutrients in the PDI are not shown. Okay. Uh, and the last component is the UL or the tolerable upper intake level, which is the maximum level of nutrient intake that could not induce harmful effects. Okay. Next is the food composition table. So the food composition table, uh, these answer your questions on how to determine the exact amounts of nutrients in your foods. So, naapunta diri no. Kani ang ginagamit nato nga FCT. Um, Pwede ninyo ni ma-download no. Okay. So basically kaning FCT nato, kaning food composition table nato, kung gusto nato mahibaw-an ang nutrient content sa kada pagkaon, then mo ni atong gamiton nga tool. Okay? So on Thursday I'll show you a hard copy no of our FCT, and that's the newest FCT. Dili na ko ma-download kay dako man gud nga file kay dagan kayo nig foods nga naa diri. Okay? Kay gipa-encode man nako ang tanan nga food sa FCT, gipa-encode nako sa Excel. Okay? So you're lucky no because you have a soft copy of the FCT nga naka-Excel na daan para dali ra ma-compute. Okay, so on Thursday I'll show you the how to use the FCT no. Okay, with the use of our Excel and with the use of the Phil FCT, which is a website no, of the FNRI. Okay, kaya available po ni siya online. Aside from the Philippine FCT na apud tay FCT nga ASEAN, that means this can be used anywhere in the ASEAN region. So Pwede na gamitin sa Thailand, other than the Philippines, pwede siya gamitin sa Indonesia, kay naay mga food items nga nakabutang diri from different countries of the ASEAN. Okay? So, you can also download this one. Okay? Dili lang siya ma-open karon. Okay? And we also have the food exchange lists. So, the food exchange lists are food groupings of common foods that have practically the same amount of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Therefore, within a group, one food item can be exchanged with another. So, nara ang soft copy sa atong FEL. Dako po ni siya nga file, no? Okay. So, I recommend you to download this quantitative tools na lang. You can actually bring your laptop on Thursday, no? Okay? Pero naapod ko yung hard copy, ani. So, I'll show you the hard copy pod on Thursday. And I'll show you how to use also the FEL along with the FCT. Oo. So, i-describe lang sa nako karon no kung unsa sila. Okay? Pero ang paggamit ani sa Thursday na. Okay. Ah, next is nutrient density. So kani mag-compute ta ani no, mag-use ta og formula. So ang formula is percent RDA or RNI of nutrient divided by percent energy requirement. So if the food has INQs of 1 or more for 4 nutrients or INQs of 2 for at least 2 nutrients, then it is considered as nutritious. So we use this formula in order to say whether this food item is considered nutritious or not. Okay? So mo ni ang criteria. So I'll also show you no, on how to compute the nutrient density maybe on Friday online gihapon. Okay, kay I think dili na maapas sa face-to-face nga part no. Okay. Next is the last uh, in the quantitative tools, which is the nutrition facts. So, bakit siya na-open, no? Okay. So, we use the USFDA nga mga illustrations, no? Kay very clear. Okay. Okay. So, mao ni actually ang new format sa nutrition facts, no? Okay. Um, the serving size, mao lugar ni ang ang amount sa isa ka serving, no? Per food. And we also have the 8 servings per container. So this is the number of servings per container. Okay? So basically ang nakabutang nga mga values diri kay per serving ra. Okay? That means if you consumed the whole of the content of the food package, then therefore you have to multiply the values here by 8. Okay? Kay mao ni siya ang common nga misconception in reading food labels. Um, kung unsay nakabutang, they automatically assume that maura na ilang makuha. But actually, you have to check kung pila pa ka number of servings per container para mahibaw-an nimo exactly pila ang imong makuha nga nutrients per package, because usually mahurot ba natong isa ka package, no? So therefore dili ra di ay na isa ka serving. Depende kung nagbutang sila og one serving, then isa ra gyud na ka serving, but in this particular food item 8 servings man. So therefore ang content sa food is 8 servings. And since ang nakabutang diri nga mga fat, cholesterol is per serving, per one serving. So therefore, if nahurot nimo, i-multiply ba na nimo by 8? Di ba? So, say for example, kaning sodium. 160. So if nahurot nimo ni siya guys, dili ra di ay na siya 160. I-multiply din na nimo sa 8. So 160 times 8, that's 1,280 milligrams of sodium. So imagine, layo ra kaayo siya sa 160. Yeah, so maunang very prone siya no to misinterpretation. Kay kung wa ta kabaluan ni, mao ra gyud na atong thinking, 'di ba? Okay. Um Daghan kayog packaging no nga inani. Marketing strategy pud siya para kunuhay makit-an sa tao nga gamay iyang sodium but wa di ay to kabalo nga i-consider di ang number of servings. Okay? Kay kada isa ka serving, 2/3 cups man daw. So since walo man di ay ni ka serving, so i-times pa nimo ni sa 8 ang 2/3 cups. So bali times 8. So kung di ay siya 5 and 1/3 cups di ay siya tanan. Okay, kung mahurot nimo ang content sa isa ka package. Okay ron ta to if isa ra gyud ka serving mong nahurot. Okay? Sige, atong tan-awon ang kuan ha. Classic example where we can actually be fooled by food manufacturers, no? Sige, let's review the packaging of Chippy. Chippy nutrition facts. Kay mao man ni usual nga um, junk food, no? Nga ginakaon sa mga tao. Kani. I hope maklaro ra siya. Dugay kayo siya. Okay. So, while waiting nga mag-load siya, mag-announce sa lang ko nga on Thursday, magdala mo og um, isa ka food packaging nga ang number of servings is 1. Then, magdala pod mo isa ka um, food packaging nga naay number of servings nga more than 1. So therefore, on Thursday, you will need to bring two food packaging. Okay? Ang isa is na ay one number of serving. Then, na isa nga, ang number of servings is more than 1. So, it could be 2 or 3 basta more than 1. Okay? Kay ato ang i-finish na atong discussion on nutrition label on Thursday, and mas nindot nga magdala mo og sample nga food packaging nga naay nutrition facts. Okay? So if possible no, dapat appeal ang front sa packaging visible or wala na tear no. Okay, kay ako pud ta mo inform unsay mga parts, unsay laing parts sa food packaging other than the nutrition facts. Okay? Sige. So that would serve as your attendance no on Thursday. So if wala mo'y food packaging nga dala, then wala mo'y attendance ana nga day. Bisag pa naka-take mo og exam. Sige. So nara, ni-load ra. Yeah, kung magkaon tag chippy, then magtanaw-tanaw ta sa nutrition facts, then makit-an na tong sodium na ay 220 raman di ay. So kira 220 raman di ay, gamay raman di ay. That is on that is interpreted by a naive no, naive nga consumer. But since and the students man mo, you should know more no than the non-ND or the katong wala nag-major og nutrition, so you should know this nga dili ra to 20 di ay ang makuha nga sodium. Why? Because you have to check the number of servings. And more than one ang number of servings, 4. Diba? Dili ra ni 1. And remember nga kung unsay nabutang diri nga mga values per isa ra na nga serving. So sa isa ka serving to 20. But 4 servings man, then if nahurot nimo ni siya, and usually mao ning mahitabo if you are um having Netflix and chill, no? Mahurot yun ninyo usually. So if mahurot na ninyo, so mahurot ninyo ang 4 servings, so dili ra to 20 mo ang nakuha. But i-times pa na nimo sa 4. So 220 times 4, 880. So dako di ay kayo imong nakuha nga sodium. Okay? But food manufacturers gituyo na nila, no, kay siguro sort of marketing strategy po na nila, kay kung ibutang na nila 880 dako kaayo, diba? So mao na, no, nga kinahanglan nato educate atong clients and patients about this, kay inana di ang sakto nga pagbasa sa nutrition facts. Okay? Ang carbohydrates is times 4 pa na nimo. Okay? Ang fat times 4 pa na nimo. Ang calories definitely dili ra ni 160. Kung nahurot nimo 160 times 4 pila na? 160 times 4, 640. Diba? Dako kayo, 640 calories. Okay. So, on Thursday po, dala po mong calculator, ha? Okay. So, the other parts of the nutrition facts, kaning mga daily values, um, I just educate you know on how to read this, okay, on how to interpret these values. Okay, so that's all, no, for now. Okay, para at least na parsyalan na kog discussion, and katong mga wala na to na discuss mo na atong ipadayon on Thursday. Okay, so thank you everyone, and I'll see you on Thursday. Okay. Okay, goodbye everyone.